This video is going to be about shingles and why we have to replace them in the state of Florida. In my case, it's a factory defect. Do you see the little black lines in the shingles? That's not shadows. That is what everybody calls tree mold, and it's supposed to be a common thing here. Well, after talking to the factory representative that came to my house and filed a claim on these shingles, it's a factory defect. In the shingle itself, there's copper. It's mixed in with the sand that's on the shingle. And that copper that's in the shingle prevents the so-called tree mold from growing on that shingle. So he said, anybody that sees that striped right there where it looks like tree mold, you have a claim.
I'm having a new roof put on my house. We're talking to the shingle manufacturer now. Certainty is a shingle. That's the Villages choice, and everybody had to use it. And my deed restriction says you have to use the exact shingle replacement. It don't have to be the exact color, but it has to be an approved color. So I've got Certainty shingles. We're changing the color. I'm not going to say what it is right now because I don't remember the name, but it's not going to be that light color. The problem is on these Certainty shingles, they're a 30-year shingle. Most people around here is only getting 10 years out of them because the shingles themselves are defective from the factory. And we had the guy come and check it out. We sent in a claim. They've already sent me a letter saying what they're willing to pay. I'm not sure I agree with it, so I haven't signed anything yet. But we're going to move on with the shingles. I'm going to have to get it done sooner or later anyway. So I've agreed to pay for it, and I told them I want everything replaced. I don't want nothing put back on used. So they've got it all packed up here. That's my shingles. The stuff you see up there in the plastic is the underlayment, all the different things on the roof, like the roof ventilation system on the front and the back, all that stuff up there. Other than the solar lights, everything will be replaced. And they're going to set them shingles up there. When he showed up, I know they called me and said he was going to deliver these today, and so I knew it was coming. But the thing that I didn't know was he was going to put them on the roof. I thought they were going to just set them out here in the yard on a skid, you know. But he said, no, we're going to set them on the roof. They're going to show up tomorrow with a dumpster and deliver it and set it in the driveway. They're going to set a protective material down on my driveway before they set the dumpster down so it doesn't scratch my artwork on the driveway. And then I think Monday morning is the tear off and the replacement. And they're saying it'll probably be done in one, possibly one and part of another day. They got to replace a lot of stuff. The drip edge around the gutter line and all that stuff, they're going to replace all that.
Let me just say that the contractor that I used here for the roof removal and replacement of everything up there is the company that Certainty, the shingle manufacturer, works with here. They're the ones that filed the claim. Now, you're going to ask me, are they the cheapest? No, I'm guarantee you they're not the cheapest, but I knew the job would get done right. And by using a company that the manufacturer uses, that kind of throws a little bit of a liability on this company instead of the one that I might pick out.
Well, I'm glad he's doing that and not me. That has got to wear you out. Well, there it is. They got it all up there. Whew. I felt sorry for that guy on the truck. The guy on the roof was one thing, but all he had to do was stand in place and just, set him down, which is much easier than what that other guy was doing on the truck, bending over, picking him up. Oh, Lord. Well, I got to put Buddy down. Sue's home. I'm holding Buddy. He'll want to go see his mommy. See, there he goes. Well, and so it begins. It's like 6:30, 6:45 in the morning, I think, something like that. I don't generally get up this early, but there they are. Buddy can't stand it, all this noise out here. He's in the house running around like, what's going on? What's going on? Who is that? I don't look for the cheapest. I look for somebody I know is reliable. They're here when they're supposed to be here. They come on time. They do the job. They clean up. They're in, they're out, and they're gone. And that's what I look for. They're here doing their thing. So I better get out of here before they drop something on my head. There's the permit. I mean, everything's done according to oil, like it's supposed to be. Real thick like plastic stuff, and then they put it. What they're doing, if I can understand this correctly, I'm not used to Florida way of doing things, is part of the deal here was, and the guy that owns the roofing company explained it to me, kinda, that part of the roofing standards for this company is when they tear the roof off, what they're doing is there's some kind of a special nail, and they're going to re-nail everything on the roof. It's some kind of a nail that, the way I understand it, with the humidity and the heat here, the nail is designed in a way that it cannot pull up. It cannot expand to the point of pulling loose from the rafter, I guess. I'd never heard of that in Indiana, but that's part of the deal. They're going to re-nail this whole roof. Of course, all the wood is good. I mean, on a house only 10 years old and it's never had a leak, should be. But you can see what they're doing. Now, on the front here, this guy here with the hammer right there, they're going to take the drip edge that was on the house and they're tearing it all off. And then they're going to put on new drip edge all the way around. Now in Indiana, they did that also, but truthfully, I don't think it really needs to be tearing off. Anyway, what do I know? I'm not a roofer, but they're tearing all that off also, and they're going to put all that on. Now, I can see where my gutter is in their way doing this. Most houses down here in the south don't have gutters, and so all of that would be so much easier without the gutter. I'm not going to apologize because I like having gutters and be able to direct my water where it needs to go. And in between the house where they got the blue tarp, that's where the water is supposed to go. And if you notice when he put gutters on here, that's where he's got his water going too, and it runs right straight out. And since we've done this, we have had no problem. Before we put the gutters on these houses here, this whole area back here where I'm standing, this whole area during some of the heavy rains during the rainy season, this would flood. Now, I never got into a house or nothing like that, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying we had standing water back here until it quit raining. And then it would take roughly, not very long, I'll say 20 minutes, and then the water was gone. But since we put the gutters on, no more standing water. Well, they're starting to put the roof on. They've got the drip edge pretty much on. He's got another piece of drip edge right there, as you can probably see. They went around and they're still doing it, but they have literally re-nailed every 4x8 sheet of plywood up there, which is not really plywood, it's OSB board. And they're still, you can see them up there going around with the hammers, and they're beating all the nails down to where the nail gun didn't get them all the way down. In the valley right there where he's walking right now, I'm not sure exactly what they're going to put in there, but there was some kind of a special thing that in all valleys on this house, and any house they work on really, there's going to be a special material to go down that valley where the water runs. And they did that up north too, because that's where the ice dams would happen, would be in the valleys. And when I had a new roof put on my house in Indianapolis before I sold it, they put in all kinds of stuff in the valleys there. All right, let's move on. As you can see, in the front yard is a mess. When you have a small front yard, or any kind of small yard, it's hard to corral all this mess. It's just in one little spot and it just makes it look terrible. Now these are the new vents that they're going to be putting on, because I had the old vents all tore off. I said I wanted all new stuff put on, and this is a new kind of vent. This is going to go in the house, and then the shingles goes around it somehow, some way. Don't know anything about it. There's going to be 2 or 3 of these put on the back of the house, so it should allow more air movement through the attic. And that one, there's another one. I think that's the vent for the kitchen, where the sun is really bright this time of day. It's 9:30 in the morning. I didn't quite get here in time, but you can see as they're putting on the sheathing, the top layer of the sheathing in the valleys I was talking about. See that black stuff going down through there? It's a sticky substance. They peel the back of it off and it sticks down, and they cover the valley there. And they put some of that black sheathing around, also around the vents areas where he's working right now with the staple gun. You see that black square right there? That's a vent, I think, for the kitchen. I'm pretty sure that's for the kitchen. So they put it around there. They put it everywhere. And then, of course, a while ago you saw the blue where they had cut it on the corner pieces of the eaves there. And now they put the top sheathing on. They've wrapped it around, which is the way it's supposed to be. That way it makes it completely watertight. You know, when it gets to be 90 degrees and humidity is like 100%, this is just terrible kind of work. Today's not so bad. I know maybe on the video it looks bad, but right now there's a slight breeze. You can see the leaves moving on the palm. It is sunny. Humidity feels more than comfortable to me. I don't know what it actually is. I got a thermometer in the house. I could always check. 85 degrees outside, 75 degrees inside. Humidity is about the same. Not too bad for them guys out there. And you notice he's cleaned the yard up quite a bit. They have different crews do different things. They went around the yard and they cleaned up all the shingles and things, and they put them in the dumpster over there. And they moved their tools over in a little section over there to keep it, you know, arranged. Up around the house they still have the tarps. Over my garage door you can see they got the tarps over there. So I ain't been in the backyard yet, but I'm sure they got tarps everywhere that they need it. But so far, I'm pretty happy with the way that things are going. Seems like everybody here has a particular job, and everybody's doing it. Well, we're getting the shingles on. Doing the valley right there first. I find that unusual. But hey, I'm not in the shingle business, but these guys are. He's gonna put a vent on right. Oh, I see why. He's putting the vent on. I gotta get that done. He's got a bucket up there, put a seal on it, and all that stuff. These pneumatic nailers, that's a godsend for these kind of guys that do this kind of work. Helps get this shit done in no time. I think that guy just waved at me. Yeah, we changed the color of our shingles. ARC approved. I think I had like 6 different colors I could have chose from. I could have kept the same color, but I found that a lighter colored shingles shows all the different problems after years pass by. When the rainwater washes down it leaves these dark stripes, and I've noticed like the darker colored shingles, you know, you just don't see that. A good example of that I'll show you right here. See that valley right there? Just on where the small area is at. See that dark area? That's what I'm talking about. And my roof done that also. But when you look at the darker roofs like this one next door, it's 10 years old. Look at it. Look at the valleys. That roof looks almost as good as new. That's why I decided to go to a darker color because of that. Well, we're getting there, slowly but surely. Well, we're coming along. I'm coming out here about every, I don't know, half hour or so, videoing a little bit. I mostly come out front because you can see most of the house here. It's about the same on the back. See, the 30-year shingles that you see that they're putting on, and the shingles that they'll use along the ridge right there where he's been over, is two different shingles. Same color, but it'll be two. There's a special shingle just for that ridge. I want to show you real quick, like has nothing to do with the roof here. Here's the evasive stuff I keep pulling out. You see this? You can go along the yard, you can see it. I already pulled a bunch of this out right here. That is St. Augustine grass. It really isn't even a grass, it's more of a bamboo, I think, relationship there. And somehow it got in my yard, and I keep pulling it out, and I keep trying to keep up with it. You can't spray it with anything, because it kills the grass around it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, how I'm going to fix it. We'll worry about that later. Right now I got a big dollar project going on up here. We got to get this taken care of. Let me tell you, living in Florida, and the Villages for that matter, it's not the cheapest way to live in Florida either. You know, you spend money constantly, driveway decorations, the landscaping, palm trees, hiring somebody to trim the bushes and all that stuff if you can't do it. Get your house washed. It's just a constant thing. Well, they're done. They haven't taken the permit down. Well, I'm sure somebody will be coming by tomorrow to pick up a check. Plus, they got to take the dumpster out of here. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, we changed the roof color. You can see what it is. And like I say, we chose that color. One, it kind of matches the sunsetter shade. It's a neutral brown. Kinda. It's really not called brown. I forget what it's called. Actually, it's got two different colors on there, three different colors on there. A light brown, kind of a bluish gray kind of thing, and a darker gray. You probably can't see all that on the camera. But I think it'll be better than that light colored one we had. It won't show all the spots and the lines you get after a rain and everything. So we'll see. How do I know? But we'll see. We're good for at least another 10 years, 15 years, hopefully longer. A lot of these people, they just told me that they're not doing anything until their insurance company tells them they have to do something. Well, I didn't have that choice. I don't know about these roofs over here. I don't know about that one over there. They kind of look okay to me from the ground. But my roof had a lot of degeneration on it because it was factory defective shingles. And I'm not the only one here that had them. I know of at least a half a dozen houses here that had factory defective shingles, and we all had to have our replacements. But the factory really doesn't really pay a lot of anything. They won't pay for no labor. They don't pay for no underlayment. They don't pay for anything else you add to your roof, like ventilation systems and all that stuff, roof vents. All they'll do is they'll kick in on the shingles only. Is that fair? I don't know. So anyway, I was in there, I got the paperwork, I printed it off. I'm looking at it thinking, you know, what did I tell you guys a while ago, 2,800 or something? Well, the factory's offering me like 28.50, just shy of like 28.47.50. I don't know how they come up with that. Should I argue about it? Because if I was to buy these shingles, that's probably about what it would cost me to buy the shingles. So, I don't know. I don't know. But there's some extra shingles that I've got, and I'm glad I've got those. I'll put them in the garage. That way when we have a hurricane or whatever, and any of these get bent, creased, or whatever, I got extra shingles to match. And then the ones I got in there, I'm going to have to give them away to somebody that needs them. Yeah, it looks okay to me. Look up there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the moon's out already. Right there. I come out here last night, and let me tell you something that's probably a little crazy, a little wild. No, I had not been drinking. I come out here the other night, and sometimes I come out at night, like midnight, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'll sit out here. Because I'm editing, I'm tired, I just come out here to sit where it's quiet. Just nice and peaceful and quiet. And look there, she's getting her driveway expanded out. That's a good idea to do that. They've done that over here on this one. That's the way that they did it in my area for a golf cart garage. You hit that little concrete, and so they just extended on out to the road. So you have, a nice wide driveway for 2 or 3 cars to park there. That's a good idea. So anyway, I'm sitting out here, and it was just a star-full sky. Just stars were everywhere. Of course, I look over in that direction over there, and that's Tampa. You see the lights blinking going toward the airport there, and over here above my house, you see them flying over my house going to Orlando. You don't hear them, but you see them. Well, as I'm sitting here, I look over here. There's nothing over there. I've seen this one bright light, and it's moving kind of toward me, and I'm thinking, I bet that's one of them satellites right there. There's so many of them up there now, and I hear people talking about it. Well, as I'm watching this satellite, it kind of comes up this direction right here, and then I swear to you, it stopped. It went to the right, well, my left, it right, stopped. Continued to come my way a little bit and stopped. And then disappeared. What the hell was that? Oh well, who knows what that was.
Oh, don't leave your keys in the golf cart. Some might say it's not very smart. If you walk away and hear your engine start, just turn around and wave goodbye to your golf cart, to your golf cart. Oh, where's my golf cart?
One, two, three.
Hey, Skip, you suck!
Hey, Skip, Jose's delivering a coffee, and by the way, you suck!
Hey, Skip, we got our coffee.
What?
You suck!
Skip, you suck!